Hey, guys. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for joining us here at Fighting for Freedom or Black Box Radio. My name is Davita, and I am the co host alongside my husband, who is also the co host. His name is Rodney Pitts. Together, we're Fighting for Freedom. Fighting for Freedom is a platform designed to create a space for those individuals who are incarcerated. We're here to talk about the things you've been through, how you ended up there, what you've been doing since you've been incarcerated. My husband, he is incarcerated. He is at Western Correctional Institution in Cumberland, Maryland. And today we have a special guest for you guys. We have Vernard Toney. He is currently incarcerated at WCI. He has been there for some time now. Mr. Toney, welcome to the show. Introduce yourself to everyone.
Hello, my name is Vernard Toney. For short, they call me Snow. I've been incarcerated now for 11 and a half years. And I'm from Southeast Washington, D.C., which is kind of, it's an okay neighborhood, not too bad, but, it is what you make it. I grew up in poverty in a house where the house was kind of a traffic house, as far as like drugs environment. I got two brothers I grew up with. And I basically I adapted to the life by being in the environment. But what else could I like?
So let me ask you this. So you've been in since you were 23. Coming from poverty, living in an area like you said that is not too bad. What led you to being sentenced to 23 years?
Due to the choices I made in life, far as my criminal history, far as just trying to survive, but basically, get into the street life and the crime I committed, basically armed robbery with a deadly weapon.
So I heard you say you got two brothers. Are they older brothers, younger brothers?
Yeah, I say the oldest. I'm the youngest out of all the siblings. I have three siblings on my father's side. My mother has two, so it's 5 altogether. But I'm the youngest sibling out of everyone.
Okay, so you've been in prison for now 11 and a half years.
Yes.
During that incarceration, were you always at WCI?
Yes, so I was always at WCI for the most part. Being in here, it's kind of tricky because if you don't think you're going to fall statistic and to get into everything that's around you, so you have to be strong. And, I try to be strong in the aspect. And like not too long ago, for the listeners, 2023 October, my 13-year-old son got murdered. So dealing with that, it just been a little tough on that behalf. But I'm strong.
So what happened? And my condolences. Sorry to hear that you lost your 13-year-old. That had to be hard. I can't imagine. How did you deal with that? What was your outlet? How did you mourn?
Actually dealing with it is tough because losing a child, you're gonna deal with it every day. But these men in here kind of actually got me through it a lot from the support I've been getting from all the guys that's around here, and just trying to just be strong for him, for instance. You know what I mean?
Right. Do you mind me asking what happened? What happened to your son? How did he pass away?
He got murdered by an officer. An officer tried to say him and another little guy tried to like carjack him for his vehicle or something for that instance. But neither one of the kids had a gun on him or anything of that nature. And he ended up shooting my son, and my son actually died on the scene.
Wow.
There's a lot with that going on right now. Yeah.
Wow. So a police officer murdered your son.
Yes, a police officer. Yes.
And what happened with that? Like, Did he get charged with anything?
From my knowledge, no, he did not get charged with it. I think they actually charged the other little boy that was with my son at the time.
They charged the other little boy that was with your son for your son's murder?
Yes. From my understanding, yes, they did. I didn't really get too much into depth about it because due to the fact that my incarceration, and I didn't know if that could mess up anything over the phone while I was talking
Right.
about this case while I was with my family, so I didn't really get into it. But I'm supposed to have been released on the 31st of January. I made parole. But for some instance, they messed up on my paperwork. That's why I'm still here, unfortunately. You know what I mean? But something worked out for me this week where I should be getting released really soon, anytime now. So that's a good thing coming about.
So you said so that's wonderful. Congratulations. So how is it, what kind of mess up with your paperwork? Like how, I don't understand why you're still there. What kind of issues?
They basically saying like my home plan didn't go through. Father, I don't think they submitted my home plan in time. The lack of communication on they not doing their job on their behalf on that too.
So do you have a home plan?
Yes, I have a home plan. Yes, I have everything I needed to get. If they wasn't doing their job on that behalf. I did everything I was supposed to do as far as getting out.
So are you going into like a re-entry program? You've been gone 11 and a half years. Is it some programs out there that you're entered into to help you, make this transition?
No, I'm actually going straight out. And what I'm going to do is, right now, I've been studying my CDL, trying to drive, the trucks and things of that nature. But right now, I've got this landscape and party planning going on that I'm be doing for the time being until I get my CDL license.
Okay, so let me ask you this: how are you able to prepare for that in there?
I'm studying the CDL book now.
You got a CDL book?
Get certain books.
Okay.
So like right now, basically just for studying it, going over it. So when I get there, I can have an outlet on, what I'm doing for real. I already be a step ahead of it. So.
So other than, okay, so you had to, of course, probably purchase the CDL book yourself. Was that something the institution gave you?
No, I had to purchase it myself.
Is that how it is in there? If it's something you want, you got to go get it. How is the institution helping you guys in their rehabilitation?
The institution is really not helping you in here because we always on lockdown because stuff always going on. So like what you have to do is you have to basically self-evaluate yourself. You have to program yourself. You have to get the guys that been there for a while to help you mentor, get you through what's going on. Because now prisoners actually coming into an epidemic. The drugs are actually trying to take over the prison. As far as with the young guys coming in, they don't really want to study their cases. So it's actually kind of rough on these young guys, man. And, so like I say, I'm one of the guys that actually, unfortunately, to make it out of here. You know what I mean? So I gotta count my blessings on that. And just come back out there to society and actually talk to the youth too. And try to get back to them and let them know, man, this is not really the place to go. Because I was once in their shoes. I've been on both sides of it. I've been in prison and I actually lost my son while I was in prison. And he was the same age. And it seemed like he was trying to go to the same route I was going under. So it's like by me being in here, losing a son and being through the experience that I've been through in life myself, I've been into the streets. I'm basically trying to come out there and be to the youth and basically be a mentor to them. Trying to take them out, get them things to do, and make them so they won't have to convert to the things I converted them to, basically.
And how, let's talk about that a little bit. How can you get through to these guys? These children on the street. It's hard out here. It's hard out here. Parents working 2, 3 jobs to support one household. Usually there is no male in the home. The women are doing it themselves. And I mean, I do understand that there are some single father households where there is no mom in the home, but statistically, there are more single women raising men. So, what do you think you can do to get through to these kids out here? Because they are all over the place.
I look at it like this: if you go in a neighborhood and you get one of them, because you're not gonna be able to get all of them at one
Right.
time. If you get
Right.
one of them and you take that one and you show that one good positive things, maybe that can trickle down to his friends and go on and on. Basically, you go pick up that one kid, mentor him, take him places, change his life. Maybe he can try to bring his friends into what he's doing as positive instead of them sitting around the neighborhood doing nothing and doing bad things. So I
Right.
think it'd be better for me to get to one of them.
Right. They've been doing like statistics and letting the public know about the school systems and what the children are and aren't learning. And I don't know about the DC area, but here in Baltimore City, there are a lot of high schools, and there's not one high school where the children are proficient in math and English. Every school has a very low uh, rate where children are reading on their level, where children are comprehending,
Hmm.
um, and they're just not functioning. They are failing in the basic necessities in school. So with you coming out and you getting that one person
Hmm.
and mentoring him, mentoring just isn't, don't do this and don't do that. These children need to learn the basics.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So with that being said,
You have
um,
to.
uh-huh, you can go ahead.
Yeah. No, I was basically saying like, falls with that. You have to teach them the basics. You have to start over with them, basically. Like, you can't always just take them and do fun things because at the end of the day, you still have to understand, let them know the book smarts of what's really going on in life today, anyway. Because now without book smarts, you're really not gonna know anything. So like you
Right,
basically have to pick up a book and read something, and just try to try to the best of your ability, teach them positive things, and just implement knowledge into them. Maybe that can get to them, because
right.
they not actually teaching everything they supposed to teach in the
Hmm.
school.
Right. And they can't do it alone. So you, like I said, you have a lot of single parent households out here. The mom is at work, working night, working day. The children going to school, not going to school. They're not studying. They're not bringing homework home. And especially since they go into this virtual learning type thing now, where the children really aren't paying attention. So being here, meaning out, hopefully, brother, you make it out without any more hiccups, and you're able to come out and be positive role models. Just to put it out there, not only do the children need mentor, but the parents does as well. The parents need the same mentor. It's some parents who wasn't given a certain tools to be able to raise these children, to provide.
Yeah.
So how do you reach them?
Basically, because it's actually kids having kids.
Exactly,
Man, so
exactly.
like the parents who
Right.
actually having the
That's
kids
the
don't
point
like
I'm
this
making.
education themselves to teach the kids.
Uh,
So like
right.
that's the hard part right there, trying to get the parents to actually sit down and teach the kids.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay. So I'm glad to hear that you're going to come out and you're going to, help everyone, or not everyone, but help these kids and try to mentor. What have you been doing in there though to keep yourself straight, to keep yourself out of trouble, and to stay focused?
It starts with thinking for others. That's the first thing you have to do. You have to think for others because there's always some people that's gonna try to cross your path to put you in a bad position, to trick
Mm.
you out of doing something crazy. But for me, I basically adapted to the older guys that was in here, studying my religion, Islam, and basically read. And it's hard. So like I said, everybody gonna have their own ways of dealing with doing time. You know what I mean? But the best way I can tell you is try not to. It's it's tough, man. Like I say, try to get some older guys been in here, take them as positive role models, and just try to stay out the way.
Right. I was asking because
Stay
sometimes
out the way for the
when
most part.
you're in a certain space and you learn a particular thing, you sort of take that with you and travel along through your journey. And the things that you learn in there,
Absolutely.
some people think that is no good in prison. Like a lot of people grow up and become men in there, and everything they've learned in there is what mold them to be the person that they are. With that being said, I was wondering like what you learned in there so that you can bring some of those things out here and teach these kids. Like you said, for instance, to tell them that's not the place that they want to be. The stories, I'm quite sure you have probably 100 of them, of the things that has happened in there, and probably some things you just could not believe was even happening. So what do you think,
Sorry.
um with your, you were saying that it was some issues with your home plan, for coming home, and you saying you're going to be released right to the street. Going to a I guess a reentry program, is that something that you didn't want to do?
For the most part, I would have went to a reentry program because I think a reentry program could have actually got me to be more successful. I'm gonna say successful faster to what I'm already gonna be into. A reentry program could have helped me far as getting a stable house and things of my own instead of going to live with someone like I'm going to do now. The reentry program could have helped you get um further your education as far as whatever it is that you need to work on. It can help
Uh-huh.
you get a job. What I mean, a reentry program, it can help you actually get back into society after
Right.
a lot of time. I think you really need a reentry program, but just so happened, I came out when I made parole. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like I say, I would have took a
So
reentry program if they would have accepted me.
so
You
you
know,
said if they would have accepted you, did you try and they didn't, or you just didn't once you made parole?
no, I didn't. Once I made parole, I was just like, forget it. I was, I had to take parole for it. But the crazy part about it, I just went up for the reentry program Thursday. I went up for to get interviewed for it. So
Uh-huh.
it's crazy because the law of Akbar. I went up for I went up for the program. They said they're gonna refer me to the program. As soon as I came back, I signed my papers to get released. So
Really?
I was waiting
Oh,
to get released.
okay. Well, there are a lot of reentry programs out here, and I think even if you know things, I'm not gonna say if, when you do get released, I don't think it would be a bad thing to
Yeah.
reach out to some of them programs and see if you can get some of their wraparound services. They have a whole lot of services that you can use, you can apply for, that you can get sooner than later on your own. Like if you need health insurance, if you need food assistance, if you need somewhere to stay.
Yeah.
There is a reentry program that's here in the city. I'm not sure like what might be in your DC area. There are some, I'm sure, that I can look up later and get to you later, where if you need your driver's license, they can help you do that and get your social security number. I think they may help you get that in there and get your social security card. I'm sorry. But it's a lot of services that they
Yeah.
have, that, and they have social workers on deck to help you get that. And you can have all this stuff within a couple of weeks. Working and trying to get it on your own, it might be a few months. So I would
Yeah.
urge you to really get with a program to help you get everything you need, because the assistance is out here, and try to get it now
Uh-huh.
before Trump really turned the whole country upside down.
Absolutely, and that's what I'm coming to do. Like I say, when I come out, I'm still gonna try to go to every avenue I can to help me out. So I'm going to every avenue, reentry, whoever it is that can help me to be successful and to stay into society. That's what I'm coming to do.
Yeah,
That's what
they don't want you to have it, and they definitely not going to give it to you. You gotta
yeah,
brush your shoulders off, or brush the dirt off, however they say it, and go take what you want, because they're definitely not giving us anything out here. So do you have any other children? I heard you say, we talked about your son who was murdered. Was that the only child you had?
Yes, that's the only child I have. Yes.
Wow. Wow. I'm sorry
So
to hear. So
that's
who's
the
your
only
support in
child.
there? Who's your support? Is your brothers and sisters supportive?
So who support me in here?
Yeah, I'm like, who's your support system? Like, I know you said some of the guys in there help you get through the passing of your son. Do you
Yeah.
have any outside support? Anyone who's out here who's
Yes,
supportive?
yes, I have a lot of fun. I have a lot of family support, friend support, and things into society. Like throughout my whole incarceration, I had people that, they've been here for me and get me through the incarceration. Especially when my son died. Like a lot of people reached out to me. You know what I mean? Reached out, showed me love, basically. You know what I mean? And keep in contact, keep my spurs up, and things of that nature. But
Well,
it's tough losing a child.
I
Uh,
can't
it's,
imagine.
it's something you really can't prepare for. But if you tell someone about it, they can really feel you. But like it's tough, man, because it's something you're gonna think about every day. And then a fact to how it happened. You know what I mean? So that's
Right.
another thing too. Then how and the man then the situation as far as me being gone and all them kind of things still play a factor. Like, because I know if I was there that wouldn't have happened. You know what I mean? So
Right. Right.
you go through
So,
it.
do you and his mom have a pretty decent relationship?
Yeah, for the most part, yeah, we still talk time out of time. I don't, we ain't together or anything of that nature,
Right.
but
Right.
I still call her, check on her time out of time, make sure she's still doing good, her spurs and things like that. Try to uplift her for the most part.
Well, that's good. I mean, I can't imagine what she's going through. I have just one son of my own, and my husband, he has children, and together we have a blended family. So we got two boys, and some girls. I can't imagine losing either one of them, and he's lost some
Yeah.
children since he's been in there. So you definitely need that support inside, and you definitely need that support outside. Coming out here is tough. This world is ugly. um, Jobs not paying what they need to be paying, housing going up, food is going up, the price of eggs is just ridiculous. Gas and electric is crazy. So coming out here and trying to make it every day especially after being gone so long, you have people out here who've never been to prison and they're struggling. They don't have that, stigma over top of their head, and they are really struggling. So coming out here, and trying to, establish yourself might be a little challenging, but I don't want you to not take advantage of the services that's out here because they are. Um, with that being said, how is your mental? Like being in prison, it has to be hard. How are you going to come out and manage this outside life?
The first thing I'm gonna have to do is be patient. You know what I mean? Because I think being patient is gonna be the key to my success. You know what I mean? Because I always been into the fast life. This prison taught me something. It taught me patience, and by me being more patient, I don't think I know for a fact I'm not rushing to get anything. You know what I mean? Like for right now, my family. I'm in a good position where as though I don't have to rush. I don't have to, what I mean, rushing to do anything. You know what I mean? They told me to take my time. That's what I'm coming. I'm coming to take my time, and I think taking my time will be more successful.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. They think they feel like when I say they, I'm talking about legislatures and legislation and senators. They think that the rehabilitate people only are rehabilitated if they've done at least 20 to 30 years in prison. They say the people who have not done at least that amount of time will come back out and they will reoffend and end up back in the system. How do you feel about that?
It all depends on your mindset and what you're doing while you're in prison. Because if you in prison just doing anything, keep back and forth, going to lock up and things like that, you're not learning anything. So that could be a part of that too. So like I can't say they lying about that because statistically, that's really how it goes. But if you're not learning anything, of course you're gonna come out there and convert back to what you was doing. Or if you ever been to no traumatic trauma by you being in prison. You know what I mean? If you in prison and everything peaches and gold, and you doing this and doing that, you feel like you on the streets, then of course you're gonna go out there and convert and do the same thing you was doing because you're not learning anything. But if you done been through some things and you've been around people who actually got life sentences, who not coming home, or who basically been in prison for a long time, and they give you the things they done been through as far as getting out into society, and you didn't go out there, it's like you ain't learned nothing. So
right. They have the second act. So they're trying to pass that law. It's already been to the Senate, and it's now in the House. And I don't think they made a ruling on the bill. We don't know if it passed. And the Second Look Act just centers around giving people a second chance. And one of those criteria for that program is that you have to have done at least 20 years in prison. If you have not done 20 years in prison, they're not even going to look at you. With that being said, you said if, depending on what you're doing, if you're not on lockup, you go through certain things, you learn this, you learn that, and then that will, I guess, change your mindset. And so, you know what, I'm not going to commit any more crimes after that. One thing you did speak of is those individuals in there who, I guess, are young kids, and they are doing things, I guess, to keep them on lockup. The laws change. This law is changing every day. And it's people out here that are fighting for them. Their minds aren't there. How can we get their minds there? How can we get those young men and even women to see that it's people out here that's fighting for them, but they're not fighting for themselves? How can we get them to focus? Because that's even a challenge out here. I know you said take one and hope it'll trickle down. The drugs are taking over inside and outside the prison. But in order to win, we got to do this collectively. So, like I said, you're the fifth person on. And some of these questions I asked them as well. How can we, get those guys in there to say, listen, you need to look at your case, you need to do that. Some of these laws are changing, and you could be out on the street. And the point I'm trying to get to is they want to help you get out, but they want you to do 20 years to do it.
You have 60 seconds remaining.
Oh, okay. That go to the 60 seconds. Okay, so Mr. Toney, what we're going to do is hang up. Call me back. I'm entertain the folks.
Okay.
Until you get back, and we'll pick up the Second Look Act from here.
Okay.
All right, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in with us. Thank you for listening. We would like you guys to please like, share, subscribe to the channel so we can keep this thing going. Again, I am Davita. I am the co-host alongside my husband, Rodney Pitt. He is also the co-host of Fighting for Freedom on BlakBoxxRadio. And we just a platform. We want to give these guys and these women behind the doors a voice. We're talking about a lot of things, not just their incarceration. We're talking about, as you can see, we're just talking about the Second Look Act. And we are just trying to help these guys, get out of prison. Let me read something and look for sponsors. Okay.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
0 now. To decline this call.
Hello.
Use the link.
Hello.
Hey, Mr. Vernard, Toney, welcome back. Welcome back. So, what we were speaking about is the second look act, and we were talking about the criteria and how, they want you to do at least 20 years.
Hello.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Hello. All right. We can't hear Ja.
I can't hear nobody. Hello.
Yeah,
Hello?
Ja.
Try now.
I can't hear you. If you can hear me, I can't hear you.
I can hear you. You there? Can you hear me?
Hello.
He still can't hear
Can't
me.
hear you. Hello.
Don't hang up. Please don't hang up.
Hello.
We fixing it, y'all. Give us a moment.
Go. Try again.
Hello. You think he hung up?
Yeah, he hung up. I think he'll call back.
Okay.
But check the chat out.
All right. Okay. Well, we are on BlakBoxxRadio, and this is a platform not just designed for fighting for freedom, but if it's anything that you guys want to talk about, you want to promote, if you have your own show that you want to do, you're welcome to come to this platform. She uses her platform to educate the people, to put new products out there, new services. If it's something that you want to get out to the people, BlakBoxxRadio is the place to do it. You can drop your info in the chat. She does have an email address. I'm not sure what her email address is right offhand. I think it's BlakBoxxRadio.com. If you know a job, put it in with you there, Miss Queen? I thought I heard somebody.
Yeah.
Hello, you there, Mr. Vernard?
Yep.
You can hear me?
I'm here.
Okay. So we were just briefly speaking about the second look act and how, they want you, they want you to do at least 20 years. I think that's a long time for someone to get a second chance. So I was just asking you, like, how can we reach these young kids in there before they get to 20 years?
Mm-hmm. I don't think it takes 20 years for you to be a rehabilitated person, first and foremost. Let me get that
right.
Because, to be honest, it don't take that long to be a rehabilitated person. It take you 5 years to be rehabilitated. But in order for you to get to the young kids that's coming into now, you have to basically do some of the things that they like doing. You have to try to right now they coming in a lot. They coming in younger and younger. So and they coming in not really wanting to hear nothing. So it's tough trying to get these young kids coming in because they coming in with no guidance already on the streets without no parents. So by them coming in here and somebody like me that been there for, I'm gonna say 10 years, 12 years, and vice versa for somebody that been there 20 years, they probably gravitate to somebody that been there 10 years than somebody for 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
So by somebody been there 10 or 12 years, you have to try to get them law that the guy's been in 20 years gave you. But some of that sometimes be hard because the kids don't want to listen.
Right. Right.
It weighs as options. But I don't think 20 years. I think 20 years is way too far. After 20 years, you should be done your time and everything. Because
Exactly.
you're not going to think the same from 20 years ago. Like you will never think. Your brain it works all the time, and to the fact, I don't think the 14-year-old gonna be the same once he's 34.
Exactly. That 14-year-old probably ain't gonna be the same at 20.
Yeah, like 40-year-old not gonna be the same he was at 20 years old. Like I'm not the same person I once was when I came in at
Exactly.
23, and I've been in 12 years. I'm a totally different person. I'm like night and day.
Right. Right. So, like I said, with these laws changing, it's imperative. It's crucial that we get to these kids to prevent them from missing 20 years of their life in a place that is meant almost for animals. So that's just one of the laws that we're trying to pass out here on it for their benefit. And I wish it wasn't you had to be, in prison at least 20 years to even qualify. That's just one of the boxes you need to check off to get to be eligible for even them to give you a second look. So is it anyone you want to shout out? You want to say, hey, what's up to?
I don't really have too many shout outs, but the people I want to shout out to the listeners.
Okay.
I want to shout out to the listeners and the ones who want to support, everything that we have going on, far as you having your podcast and everything of that nature. Support. Shout out to all the people who listen and the people who support. How about that?
Right, exactly. Like, share, and subscribe.
Free all the men. How about that?
free everybody. Exactly. So we want you guys to like, share, and subscribe. Another thing we do here, Vernard, is we just want people to drop a jewel, like give someone that one piece of advice, that one encouraging word, or whatever it is you think that they may need.
Mm-hmm. Oh, one more thing.
Uh-huh.
When I get out of here, I want to come back and do it again too, though. So I want to update it and let you know how I've been. How my what's the word I'm looking for? How my transition been into society.
Right. And we would love to have you back. We would love to discuss what you have going on, to listen to, some of the obstacles you may have come across once you was released, what you have done since your release, how you're moving forward. Definitely you are welcome to come back. Like I said, this door is open. So do you have a jewel you want to drop for the listeners?
Right now, no, I'm gonna have one for you next time. I'll have one right now.
Okay, I got you, and that's what's up. There's no problem.
Only the strong survive. I can say that. Only the strong survive.
Okay, that's a jewel right there. Only the strong survive in there and out here. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Only the strong survive. How about that?
That's a good one. That's a good jewel. Okay, so that is Mr. Vernard Toney, you guys. I think my husband probably is going to call in shortly to close out the show. But Mr. Toney, I want to thank you for coming on. I want to thank you for your time. It is greatly appreciated. Thank you for thinking of us and sharing your story with us. I really appreciate it. So we're going to close that out. I'm going to get my husband to call in. I'm going to text him and tell him, call in, babe, and tell him to call in. But Mr. Toney, thank you again. Thank you so much again for, like I said, sharing your story. Okay, you know what? No, he hung up. Okay, guys, I'm sorry. I'm gonna get my husband really quick to close this out. And I appreciate you guys for coming on. Thank you so much. It's been great as usual. We will be back again. We're on every third Sunday at 7:00. And we'll be here and we'll have a different guest for you to share their story. Let me see if I can I don't know. Hey, Miss Queen. I see you're here. Welcome. I don't know. I think he might be calling into you, Jai. I'm not sure.
Call from
Rodney.
Oh, there you go.
To accept, press 1. To send
Hello?
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 Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Hey,
Thank you for calling in, babe. Hi, how are you?
hey, I'm good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Welcome to the show. Like, share, and subscribe, guys. So we're closing out the show, babe. I want you to close out for us.
All right, absolutely. Good evening, everybody. As you know, my name is Rodney, and I'm the co-host of the Fighting for Freedom series that is hosted here on Black Box Radio. Thank you all for tuning in for another episode. Um, before we close, I want to thank you, Miss Queen, and Black Box Radio for this platform, allowing Fighting for Freedom this opportunity to bring humanity to greater society from behind the walls. This means a lot to us, and your support means more than you know. And I can't wait for us to be able to return the favor to you. To all the greater society that tuned in tonight, you know, um, for those who heard, the show and hear what goes on behind here, hear some of the stories of this young man and, his trials and, his fight for freedom. You know what I mean? Let the rest of the people know who haven't tuned in, or tell somebody else about this show, because it's very educational and intriguing to the listener. Trust me. You know, we are not for sure what we know, but what we are willing to learn. And failure will never overtake you if your determination to succeed is strong enough. With that being said, fighting for freedom will never rest until external constraints on individuals are absent, and he or she is not subject to external controls or coercion and is able to make independent decisions. Till this take place, our fight will definitely continue. Hail up, no struggle, no success, out for justice, life at the release, and the countless other organizations for being the change that they wish to see in the world. We, man, continue to struggle, man. You feel me? This definitely a blessed time, man. This is definitely a blessed opportunity, and we definitely want to take full advantage of it, man. So greater society can see the other part of society that they never see. They only hear about. So now they get a chance to see the truth and the reality to what really goes on, as opposed to the illusionistical stories that are told. You understand? Again, thank y'all for tuning in. Inshallah, we will continue to air on the third Sunday of every month. We ask that y'all bring somebody back with y'all, because as time go forward, the story's just going to become more deepening, more stronger, and more revealing to the listener. Thank y'all. Good night. Bless all.
Okay, I just want to add, like, if you want to come on the show, someone who want to come on the show, our email is fighting4freedom at myyahoo.com. You can send us a message. If it's someone in the prison you want to come on the show, we can send them an application. If you want to come on the show, you don't have to be in prison. Please send us something in the email. That's the email up right there, fighting4freedom at myyahoo.com. I'll be sure to get back to you guys and get your loved ones who have an application so that they can tune into the show. All right. Thank you, guys. Have a good evening.